welcome back. I have some peaceful music on, and just I'm gonna be a little more quiet and just relax, and I'll paint, and you can put this on in the background or whatever you want to do, but I'll be here and we can just kind of chill. Tonight, I've been reflecting on the gift of art itself, and guys, I think I would wither and melt and die if I had to be like anything but a creative, And I hope this doesn't sound pretentious, but it really is. I truly believe everyone has, a creative bone in their body, and there's the ability for everyone to do something creative with their life. And I'm here to tell you, please pursue that. The system that we're in, and by system, I mean the system in especially North America, where it's a sort of production-based philosophy of if you can't produce enough, then you're not worthy of, love, you're not worthy of reward. That sort of system is very screwed up in my mind because we aren't machines, and to have something that you feel passionate about, something that you can create, is essential for everyone's human psyche. I really do believe that. And I don't care if you aren't artistically inclined. It could be anything. But I love when people have a passion and have a hobby. Even hobbies that I can't or don't want to participate in, it just shows me that, people are human, and it fills me with a sense of joy because it's seeing other people have signs of life, instead of being stuck in this sort of ugly machine that is just, its only thought is to produce more stuff, That really bugs me. It bugs me to no end. And it has to happen, and I'm not saying, just quit everything and be performative and just don't care about your life or your job or whatever. But I'm saying, I hope, my sincere hope for everyone who lives in this world is not to be bogged down by earning money in this endless system of kind of this chaotic conveyor belt and of production. And it's a distinctly American thing to be focused on how much can you produce, how much can you work, how much can you offer society, it's a very numerical, limited mindset, and I hope everyone can get out of it. And I think I've been given such an opportunity because I was born invested in art. I was born naturally curious about art and creating things. And again, this is something I struggle with a lot in architecture, because I've found studying architecture has damaged me in the way that I can only think about, oh, how many drawings am I producing? How much work am I producing? How much of my portfolio am I getting done? How can I make X, Y, and Z deadline? And it can get crippling. It really can get crippling. And as I finish this academic year, I think that's something I want to take into 2026 is a new mindset of stop worrying so much about how much monetarily or work-wise you can offer society. People are more than machines. We're not things that just produce. We have souls, and anyway, I'm rambling, but whatever. I'm working on this painting right now to change topics, and it's going fine. I'm doing something a little different. There's kind of this really aggressive play of light and dark, and right now, this person I'm painting, who I don't know who it is, it's a face right now. This face I'm painting is very blue, very a lot of cool tones, and I kind of Usually, so what this is called is grisaille when you start to paint in black and white. And usually with grisaille paintings, the old masters would do something called glazing. Glazing has a different term now in our cultural zeitgeist. Glazing means something different, but traditionally it meant mixing an animal fat or linseed oil or some sort of medium with the pigment and slowly layering on these colors so that you get rich tones built up. Now, I already mentioned that I don't necessarily want this to be like an old master painting. You know, I already am working on a couple of those. What I do want this to look like is kind of an oil sketch. So I don't think I'm going to do the grisaille and then glazing technique. I think I'm going to work with the cool color palette. And I'm kind of excited to do this. I think I'm going to keep it black and white on her face and then work in tones of blue. So it looks like this individual's under cool lighting. And I think that'll look awesome. I think that'll really look appealing. Because usually I build up tones of warm, you know, and always have kind of a little bit of a rouge or a blush on the individual's, you know, kind of cheek area or whatever. But I think this would be really fun to just embrace the cool tones, and I don't know. I think it'll look good. It'll almost look like it's in a sketchbook, right? So that's the game plan. This is a little tricky because it's kind of alla prima. I'm layering on thin layers of linseed oil. Excuse me, not linseed oil, paint thinner. And I mix paint thinner with my pigment, and then it kind of dries quickly. So it's kind of like a very workable watercolor, or almost like a gouache painting. And I like that. It feels comfortable. I'm getting a lot of inspiration from Pinterest, obviously. And I've been seeing these wonderful sketches, and I need to find and they're oil sketches. I need to find the artist and track them down, because often Pinterest is annoying in that way where they won't credit the artist, right? It'll just have an image, and then you're always like, well, who did this? And even worse, sometimes you wonder, is this AI? You know, so I need to find that out. But I'm definitely taking inspiration with the color palette and kind of even the technique from obviously some of my older paintings, but then from this artist that I've been seeing popping up on my feed. So I'll get that information. Right now, this person doesn't really have eyebrows. So it's a little creepy looking. You know what would be really fun? I'm thinking of couture right now, because a lot of couture in 2025 is doing this like no eyebrow thing, right? And couture is reminding me of Yves Saint Laurent and Dior, and how those two, you know, kind of post-World War II artists were just incredible at couture illustrations. And guys, that's a big dream of mine. I know Jean Galliano is incredibly talented in the way he sketches for his designs, his shows, and I'd really like to imitate that. I always talk about doing kind of fashion illustrations, but what I need is I need a full size canvas. I need a canvas that is like maybe 5 feet tall by like 3 feet wide, something big, so I can do a full body portrait, or maybe even bigger. You know, and whenever I go to a museum, I see these wonderful, wonderful canvases that are just absolutely massive. And I always am thinking, oh, that would be so fun, wouldn't it? You know, just kind of to embrace that big size and just go for it. I think it'd be intimidating at first, but I don't know. After sketching out some stuff, I think it'd just be fun to work on something so large. Pardon me. think I need to step back and look at this from afar. Okay. I kind of like it. It's working. I think, yeah, when you take a step back, some of those bigger brush strokes really make some more sense. Usually if I'm like starting a piece, I'll go all the way back. My room, my studio is pretty deep, so I can like walk, I don't know, I bet that's like 20 feet. I can walk 20 feet back and kind of look at it. And I think when you get up close, the brushwork is going to need a lot of help. Brushwork is a little bad right now, but there's a charm to it. And I don't know. It definitely has potential. The other day, it wasn't looking so hot. You know, it was it was looking a little rough around the edges. But right now, you know, it's fine. Okay. Also, I've been working on doing some sketchbook stuff, and I need to show off this book. This is a must-have in my opinion. We'll do a walkthrough of it at some point. But even when I'm doing portrait paintings, this is Sargent, but this is done in like charcoal. It's also done in graphite. But a lot of his pieces are incredibly helpful, even if they're in a different medium, because of his technique. Oh gosh, I'm out of time. Okay, this is so abrupt. Well, okay. Yeah, I'll show this off. I'm gonna keep keep working on this painting. Wish me luck. I'll probably get a few more hours in this coming weekend, and yeah, we'll have a blast. Okay, I'm actually out of time. See you later, but thanks for watching.